question for you. How did you spend your teenage years? Or let me correct myself. How did you waste your teenage years? You remember?
Love, romance.
Love, romance, party, fighting, being like gangsters. When I was a teenager, there was a group of my friends, my batchmates. Those people were preparing for IITs, IIMs, Harvard, MIT. These people were studying 18 hours, 16 hours a day. That looked scary. I did not know that. There was another group that was just the opposite of this group. They were doing drugs, acting like gangsters, and doing everything that a normal civilized society considers bad and evil. I did not do that too. In fact, I did not do anything. I wasted my teenage years doing nothing, living aimless, motivationless, just like a furniture, doing just nothing. But I had a desire, deep inside my heart. And that desire was to serve my country in some way. I am a very, very patriotic person. And it's my biggest dream to serve my country in some way or the other. And the path I chose to fulfill that desire was Indian Army. I tried again and again and again to join the Indian Army. But because I did not have discipline, I was aimless, I was motivationless, and I was confused, I was not selected in the Indian Army. It was a big blow, personally, on a personal level, on a professional level, big blow. But nothing changed. I was still aimless, still confused, still living like a furniture, with no purpose. Then one day, I got a chance to interact with a very big economist in a workshop. That desire to serve my country was still somewhere inside. But a desire with a deadline, with a goal, that becomes a dream. With desire, you can do nothing. Desire is just to show you the path. You have to find your path on your own. So that desire remained, and I asked that person, "Sir, I know that normally when we think about serving our country, these are the careers that come in mind." I thought it was a funny question. I said, "I do not want to join Indian Army. I do not want to become a politician. I do not want to become an IAS officer, or I cannot become an IAS officer. I cannot study that much. I do not want to run an NGO. How can I serve my country?" Everyone thought it was a stupid question, but that person thought it was an intelligent question. And he said, "It is very easy." He said, "You just earn lots of money in an ethical way. Then spend that money in an ethical way. That's how the economy grows. Become capable, become competent, that you earn lots of money in ethical ways." Now this idea sounded very nice. I can help my country by helping myself, by growing myself. And if every individual starts doing that, the economy will flourish, obviously. So this idea got stuck in my mind. And I started thinking, what am I lacking? Why I cannot make lots of money for me, myself and for my country? And I decided that I am not focusing on my personal growth. I am living like a furniture. So I thought, what can I do to grow? And I started by reading. Initially I started reading to find some answers. But what I noticed is, I found very less answers. Instead, the quality and quantity of my questions improved many times. There were so many questions, I was more confused. As you said, more study, more confusion. No study, no confusion. But there was another feeling that started coming into my mind when I read my first 10 to 20 books. Tim Ferriss once said that if you read 5 top-class books on any subject, you are among the top 5 experts on that subject. I was reading 10-15 books on a subject. So you can imagine what I was feeling. These pretty people will give me knowledge. This was my mindset that started coming. But as I read more, this feeling started going. After reading my first 50 books, I realized I know very less. And today, after reading hundreds of books, listening to hundreds of hours of podcasts, educational podcasts, and talking to dozens of international experts, I can very proudly proclaim I know nothing. I know nothing, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So this journey in the reading, that gave me lots of quality problems, and that gave me lots of quality solutions. But remember, I started being lazy, and the internal nature of a person cannot unfortunately change. I'm still lazy, and I was still lazy at that time. So I thought, I do not have time and patience to find solution to every problem. I need one formula that I can stick into every problem and then get an answer, get a solution. One formula that can solve every problem in my life, one process that can solve every problem in life, be it business problem, relationship problem, or the problem as wide as career growth or growth as a person. When modern knowledge failed me, I started looking from a different angle. I headed towards our ancient scriptures, the ultimate source of knowledge. And I was surprised how quickly I found a solution. I started reading Upanishads, Purans, Manusmriti, Narad Shastra, Bhishma Shastra, and everything related. Chanakya Niti, things like that. And I found a 4-step process, a framework that you can apply to any problem and get a desired solution in the least amount of time. Not just growth, any problem. In some of the text, this framework is stated directly. In some of the text, it is stated indirectly. Even philosophers like Chanakya talk about it. Mathematicians, greatest mathematicians like Bhaskaracharya talk about it. And I am going to tell it to you today, after reading all that stuff. So the 4 steps are Adhyan, Chintan, Abhyas, Prachar. Let's understand them one by one. Adhyan, search and research. All the answers are lying in the universe. They are already there. You have to ask quality questions. The sun was already there. Someone asked himself, what can I do with the sunlight? Solar panel was created. All the mathematics is lying in the world. It's there. You have to ask. You have to be brave enough. You have to be intelligent enough to ask quality questions and dare to find solutions in the universe. If you think you are not capable enough or impatient like me, then you can start the works of other people. Maybe you will find a different angle. Not maybe. Definitely you will find a different angle. Then the second step, Chintan, contemplation. Thinking deeply about what you have researched. Thinking how you can apply this in your life. Thinking how you can take actions in your life with all this data, all this knowledge that you have gathered in the first step, Adhyan, research. Once you do Chintan, then the third step is Abhyas. This is kind of obvious. What you think, you practice. Because some people just keep thinking, keep planning, and action never happens. And for years, they keep saying, oh, I'll write a book, I'll write a book, I'll write a book. And then the first page, the first word of the book never ever starts. So take action. And from your action, get feedback. Experiment, explore, get feedback from others, get feedback from yourself, that what I'm doing, and keep tweaking your actions. Then get feedback and perfect it to the perfection. And you cannot reach perfection ever, and that's a good thing. Like being confused is a good thing. Like knowing nothing is a good thing. You can never reach perfection, but we always strive to reach it. And the fourth step is the most important. Prachar, publicity. An idea not shared is an idea wasted. So when you find something interesting that can help you and other people, it is your moral responsibility to tell it to other people. In fact, it even perfects your method because you get more feedback from more people. People always have biases. So if you tell this to just one group, maybe you will get some kind of feedback. If you tell it to many types of groups, many different age groups, you will get different types of feedback, and that will help you perfect your methods, your idea, your process. Now, how can this be applied to a simple thing like business problem? If you have some kind of business problem because of some maybe legal issues or because of some government policy, read about it. Talk to smart people who know about this. Just study the foreground, background, side, everything, study about it. Then think, how can I find a different angle to this? My father once saved crores of rupees for his company by pointing out one line in a hundreds of page of tender. Just pointing out one line, and crores of rupees were saved just by thinking. Chintan. Then do abhyas. Implement it in your company. Ask your people to apply what you have thought. Then get feedback from them. And finally, do abhyas, do prachar. Tell it to people. Tell it to the masses. Preach. But how can we apply it on a very simple, very wide topic like personal growth? I do not want to leave you with philosophical ideas. I want to give you actionable plans. So number one, adhyan. How can you do adhyan on daily basis? Read good books like me. Every day. Talk to smart, positive people. Expose yourself to good media. That will change your mindset. That will change the way you think and the way your brain works. Second thing, chintan. There are two ways to think better. And both are opposite of each other and both are necessary. Number one, meditation. We all know meditation. Focusing your mind, concentrating, controlling your mind. Number two, daydreaming. It's becoming famous day by day. You just sit at a place. Instead of focusing your mind, you let it wander. Unchained. Eventually you'll feel like you're feeling sleepy. Or maybe not. But your thoughts will wander like a chain. Like a machine. And from that, your thinking becomes better. Abhyas. What you learn during this process of adhyan and chintan, apply it in your life. Get feedback. See the results you are getting. Maybe health, maybe mental health, in any field, in business, in relationship, any field. And finally, prachar. Find mentees, find people around you to whom you can tell about this. Now, I do not want to mislead anyone. So, let me just state that this is a shortcut to growth, not a shortcut to success. In fact, there is no shortcut to success. And if you listen carefully, you will realize that this is not a shortcut. In fact, this is the complete process in particular order. The reason I call it a shortcut is because it stops you from doing all the unnecessary stuff, all the irrelevant stuff. So you do the right thing at right time in right order. That is a shortcut. Thank you for lending your ears to me.